when I first was a manager and I first decided I wanted to do this role where I'm, as you say, a step away from the detail, I found that quite frustrating. That it's like, oh, I want to get stuck in. But actually seeing other people and really being able to mentor them or coach them and getting them to come up with a problem themselves is so much more satisfying because you're able to empower and really excite other people about the same thing that you get excited about. It actually, I find that's the biggest, and I've said it already, the biggest part of my job that I really enjoy is that people side, helping them find the excitement in solving the problem is just, there's no other feeling like it, and seeing people grow. If you get a new person into your team who, a junior person, and you're able to help them with their career and help them grow as an engineer, grow as a scientist, and be able to create things and really see their journey. It's brilliant, that's what you want. Right?
Oh, so good to see that.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Yeah. And in terms of the team that you have, it's a global team, but how do you, are you finding people are really interested in coming into Oxford Instruments to work? Has that been a challenge for you to try and draw new people in?
It's an interesting question as well, because a lot of people haven't heard of or Oxford Instruments before. But actually, globally we play a big part, because we are involved with science. And Northern Ireland is really a great place for inward investment, especially from the US in terms of fintech and other software type, like cyber security and all of that. So we do have to compete a lot with those companies for talent. The good thing about Oxford and Andor is because we're working in this kind of space of medical research or scientific research, people, I went into a meeting and spent 2 hours talking about a black hole. Like, who does that in their job? That's part of my job. And when people come in and they understand, well, actually, I'm working on something that's going to help cure Alzheimer's or find a cure for a particular cancer, or the researcher that's going to buy this is going to identify some far off planet or galaxy or understand the creation of the universe. Well, that's amazing, right? Yeah, so knowing what the customers do, allowing engineers and people working for the business to really be or have that understanding about what our customers are using the equipment for drives that engagement and makes you want to solve the problem and
there's a real get the sense there that as a team you're not just sitting in a darkened room thinking about these things. It's actually with your clients, your users of your products that you haven't maybe invented yet, but or whatever.
Absolutely, because we do need to, because they're the ones who are like pushing the boundaries of science, and they'll want something really specific, and they'll understand, the physics of it or the, what it is they're looking for. So quite a lot of people who work in Andor have to be that kind of customer facing, but understand the science as well. And then obviously it's so great when you can get engineers out to a customer as well, because then they can see their products in action and how they're being used by the customer. So and then that'll make a better product the next time,
Yeah, so that really sparks your colleagues to be able to go meet customers and to see it in action as well.
Yeah.
So you mentioned medical there, and we talked a bit about black holes. What are the applications then of the products that you're using?
Yeah, so those types of things. So other areas. So mostly cameras on life science and physical science research, which you can imagine a camera on a telescope. So lots of cameras on European Space telescopes in Hawaii, that kind of thing, looking for exoplanets and other galaxies. In life science, it would be things like vaccine development, cancer, and as I say, Alzheimer's type research. Other things are, we develop spectrographs, which is where the piece of equipment takes the image or the light coming in and separates it into all the wavelengths, and then you can determine what it is that you're looking at. So, for example, when you go through the airport and you get swabbed on your hands, you use a spectrograph to determine whether you're carrying any controlled substances.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So our products can be used for that as well. So lots of different types of applications, which aren't your normal. You can't really buy them on Amazon, but it's usually researchers at universities who would buy it. Drug development and research into disease. And, yeah.
Well, you take a tablet or whatever you're given it by, and you just don't understand that all these jobs have gone on in behind the scenes over maybe a decade.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
I know.
That sort of the community that's been required.
And I think that's a real push, whenever people are coming into the business, them knowing that's what the product is doing is really powerful, I think,
That's brilliant.
Yeah.